everybody, this is Eric Miller at M&M 2026. I'm here with Ed Principe and from PanoScientific, and I'm mostly familiar with PanoScientific from your compressed sensing technology.
Right.
But you guys have something else here that you're showing off, and I was hoping you could tell me about it. Explain it to me. What does it do? Why does it do it? Who would be interested in it?
Certainly. Well, I'll describe how they work together. So first of all, the compressed sensing, that's about sampling a fraction of the object and faithfully restoring the whole. And so it's related to Bayesian statistical analysis, and it appears to violate Shannon-Nyquist, but it doesn't. It's all probabilistic. It looks like magic, but it's science. Yeah. And so what that allows us to do in an electron microscope is to acquire the same image at a fraction of the time with a fraction of the dose. And one or both of those can be important. So we can accelerate the time to the finished product. Now, where does the AI operating system come in? That's interesting. So,
I don't know. Ed, can you tell me, where does the AI processing system come in?
Let me tell you. So whereas one part of it speeds it up, the other part adds brains. So not only can the AI run and manage and operate our compressed sensing scan generator, but I can actually manage and operate the entire tool. In fact, not just one, but several. But beyond that, once you've taken the data, you're going to want to process the data and present the data. And there's a number of processing steps you may take with the data. So let's take, for instance, the electron photogrammetry data, where we collect a series of photos automatically in the CSSG as a function of rotation and tilt, so we have the object captured all around. So photogrammetry, you might know from even your iPhone. I could walk around you and capture and create an avatar of you, right? Yep. You can do the same thing in an electron microscope. Traditionally, you might program the microscope to do that in an overnight run, because it's a lot of images. You could have a couple of hundred images, right? Well, the CSSG part of that, the compressed sensing, turns that overnight into a couple hours. So that's the speed on that end. But then you got the other half of that process. The other half of that process means taking all those images, bringing them into a photogrammetric software, doing all these alignments, processing it into a sparse cloud, then a dense cloud, then applying texture, and then animating it. That is another day or two, depending upon your talent and what the object is like, right? Yeah. So the AIOS part of that automates that part of the pipeline. So what have you done? You've taken something that's cool, but difficult. So that means it's not going to be done very often.
Yeah.
And you've reduced the friction on both ends. The acquisition of the data is faster, so now it's more manageable, less expensive. And then the processing of that 3D animated object becomes a lot less difficult. That is also processed with the AIOS. Now you can turn that into an HTML file, also pretty much instantly with the AI, and present it. So that's a combination where one part of it is taking care of the data side and the other part of it's taking care of the processing side. And you can go on and on with these type of examples where the two are combining and working together to create a low friction workflow. And that's really what it's about. Okay. Reducing the friction of the work.
So on top of the compressed sensing stuff, if anybody's interested, should give you a call. But on top of that, you have this new AI.
Call my AI agent.
Yeah. Call your AI agent. Yeah. Describe it for me. What would be a good description for it?
So the SAGENIC studio is comprised of a number of customizable agents. All right. So we call ours a retrieval scout, goes out there and searches for information. That can be your local information. That's important because we do all on-prem. So local models are going to be controlling your microscope and also looking at your data, right? So you can pull up past reports. You can say, load the same instrument parameters that I worked with customer so-and-so last week, and pulls in those same parameters. It'll set up the DOE for you. The other important thing is our agents have persistent memory. So we have 3 layers of memory so that when it cycles, when its context window is cut, we have certain procedures for how it retains its memory before it cycles, and then so when it comes back in, it knows who it is, it knows what tasks it was working on, and it continues those tasks. So we can go down and dig into like MD files and HTML files very quickly to retrieve surface data, and then we can dig very deep into the corpus of your vector database to retrieve data that you have there, but it's all local. And so that's the SAGENIC Studio is something that puts that all under a very friendly UI, and you can talk to it and dictate to it, just like I am now, conversationally. It interprets your directions and it processes those actions. Everything from tasks to just standard requests. And this isn't a matter of if this is going to happen in instrument control, it's when. And this is the direction things are going. Yes, you're going to be talking to your electron microscope, whether you really are excited about that or not. But once you get used to talking to a machine or talking to anything, I wasn't even accustomed to talking to my text messages, right? I would type those in, but even my SAGENIC studio is now right here, just like it is on my workstation, and I can simply talk to it and give directions, and I can run multiple nodes because we can coordinate between several nodes of several instruments. So one node can run actually several instruments.
So if people are interested in learning more or getting in contact with you, how do they do that?
Well, I guess the easiest way would be the website, so PanoScientific.com.
Well, that sounds really fascinating. That's really hot new stuff. I mean, it's really interesting. I'm going to be interested in what people do with it in the future. So, yeah, because we have, it's one of those things. Anyway, this is Eric Miller. We're at M&M 2026. We got more stuff going on. Check out Instructinate.com for all your cool electron microscope related merch. And we'll talk to you soon. Thanks, guys.